Okay, this is Gabriel Montoya here with MaxBoxing.com, here with Shawn Porter.
Showtime, Shawn Porter.
Showtime, Shawn Porter.
Yes, sir.
He's getting ready to fight Devon Alexander.
Yes.
Or Devon, depending on what part of the country you're
Doesn't
from.
matter to me.
Talk about that fight right off the bat. What do you think of that matchup?
For me, it's just a lot of excitement. Finally, a great opportunity that I'm very grateful for, a blessing from God. And I just look at it like, you know, a good, aggressive, smart, orthodox fighter coming in to take a championship from a good, slick southpaw. A lot of speed and quickness coming from him. A lot of speed, quickness, agility, and power coming from me. So if you do the math, I think you know who's gonna win.
Have you faced any? How many southpaws have you faced?
You know what? You know, again, I look at it like a blessing, man. I came out of the gate sparring or fighting southpaws. My first championship fight for the NABO was against a southpaw. So I think I've fought about 5 or 6 southpaws in my career, and of course 260 something amateur fights and world fights too. So a lot of southpaws coming from there as well.
But you seem to really understand who you are physically, who you are inside that ring. You know, you fight really small, and it makes you very hard to hit. To talk about the development of your style over the years.
The development actually has come from just fights. And my dad, believe it or not, he treats sparring like his fights, you know, and I think that that's what I need. You know, he builds me up a lot mentally and physically as well. But one thing that has really changed throughout my career is as an amateur, a lot of slickness and speed gets you points, and you know, just the development of learning and understanding that you gotta, if you're a small fighter, you gotta fight small and use that to your advantage. So a lot of speed and quickness developed through the amateur system, but then a lot of power and aggressiveness has been built up. I would say since, you know, 10 or 11 fights, my dad understanding that, hey, we're going on to 47, we gotta be small as long as we can, fight small, and get those guys out of there. So I just try to stay small, stay aggressive, make those guys miss and make them pay.
The more I watch you fight too, I used to think of you just as strictly like a volume guy. And I'm starting to see you really use a lot more power and become more explosive. How has that developed?
It's all my coach, man. He drills me on using power just as much as speed. I think a lot of times that I used to get caught up in, you know, I touch the guy, you're winning the fight, but how do you win the fight?
You win doing damage.
Yeah, you got to do damage. You got to break them down. You got to make those 10 and 12 round fights be easier at 6, 7, 8, 9 by getting, you know, those body shots in, those hard shots in early throughout the fight. And I think you'll see that in my fight with Devon. I'll look to be aggressive, look to slow him down, and eventually try to get a knockout.
Do you think of it in terms like, say you get 12 rounds, so you break it up into quarters? How do you do it? Because you know you got to take some rounds off to kind of replenish.
Well, you know what? For me, and our thing is being in shape and being prepared. It's a 12-round fight. We'll be prepared to go 15 like they used to do in the back in the day. And from that standpoint, it's just a matter of winning the rounds and winning the rounds decisively. And in this fight, again, going to the body, slowing them down, and you know, not necessarily breaking it up into quarters or anything like that, but just working according to how the fight is going. You know, if there's points where I need to stay and bang harder, I will.
Right.
And I will get those quick instructions from the corner, and I'll hear it as well throughout the fight, and we'll just work accordingly, and we will win this fight.
Your last fights with, you know, Julio Diaz, some people. You struggled a bit in the first one, didn't struggle as much as in the second one. You know, what was the difference?
Honestly, I struggled in the first fight. I'll tell anybody that. Honestly, I wasn't there 100% in that fight. The second fight, this time around, I knew what I was up against. I knew I had to grow up and be a man and accept the challenge. I think the first time I accepted the challenge, but I didn't take it all the way. This fight, we made a few adjustments. We were more aggressive. We went to the body more. And I think we fought smarter in that fight. I fought smarter in that fight, and I made the fight what the first fight should have been a lot easier. It shouldn't have been as much banging as it was in the first fight. And I think you'll see that more as I fight. You'll see me being aggressive, but also being responsible on defense as well.
What brings you to the Bay Area? How did you land it? And this is what, your second time up here?
This is my first time to the Bay Area. First time for training. First time I had my fight in San Jose against I think that was Alfonso Gomez. I had that fight.
Yeah.
Just you know, a blessing from God, man. He brings me where I need to be to get prepared for what I need to get prepared for. This is a big fight, and we got some good technology out here, some hypoxic training and stuff like that. So a lot of good things coming out of the Bay Area, and we came out to experience it and be a part of it.
Now, I noticed you're wearing you and your dad are wearing the SNAC shirts, and like you said, you're working with the hypoxic stuff. Can you talk about working with Victor or Conte and how that came about and what that's...
Welcome back.
like for you?
Sure, my dad is he's a very smart guy. Anybody that's met him knows that, and he knows that we're going to be in a world championship fight, and he knows that we need to be prepared for that. Instead of going to the altitude this year for training in Colorado Springs, where I've done numerous times, he reached out to Victor Conte and SNAC, and we got the okay. Victor's a great guy, and he actually invited us out. We're out here, and we're making it work. It's been a great trip, and I'm sure we'll come back again. If not before this fight, definitely afterwards.
Now, a lot of the old school guys, they look at the new stuff, and they're like, okay, hypoxic training and a hyperbaric chamber. What are you, Michael Jackson? Like, what's going on?
Yeah.
How much does it really help you for your recovery?
You know what? Michael Jackson was ahead of his time. And,
That's very true.
Yeah, he was a great guy, but I think if the old guys had this, they would have appreciated it. I appreciate it. It gives you something mentally and physically. I feel strong physically, and even when I feel weak in certain spots, I can still go everywhere else. You know what I mean? So it's something that we're working on. It's some new technology, and we're learning it. You know, so yeah. I like it so far. My experiences with it have been great. I feel strong. I feel positively motivated and mentally strong as well. So I think that's what you get from all this new technology.
Can you talk a little bit about, I know, things stay in the vault, in the gym, but can you talk about working with a guy like James Kirkland like you did today, and what was like the goal? I know you guys were both kind of pushing yourselves to an extreme. What was the goal today?
Hey, you know what? You got to step up. You know, man. Anybody that knows me knows that I'm a nice guy. I come out, I try to touch gloves in the first round. He touches my hand, he hits me with a punch. Yeah. But I'm not. I'm not a mean guy. I don't get mad. So I shook my head. I said, I'll get that back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think we did 7 or 8 rounds.
7, yeah.
Trust me, I got it back.
Yeah, have you worked with a lot of big time guys with the wild card?
Everybody, man. This is my first time meeting and fighting him, and from going to see him on HBO on Showtime to actually getting in the ring with him was a treat for me. Didn't really know what to expect other than the power and the aggressiveness. And good thing about being in the ring with a guy with experience like him is it tells you where you are. Yeah. And I definitely know I'm going to be a world champion.
Yeah, he was kind of pushing, and it got chippy in there,
He was pushing, it got chippy. It's supposed to get chippy. It's a fight. And, yeah. And that's where I am with my mindset now. It used to be a thing of just coming into the gym and, hey, let's work today. Let's get some good work, and let's go home. Let's improve. Let's lose some weight. Now it's just about being ready for this fight. Nothing comes before, nothing comes after. So whatever is in my way up until this fight, I got to get out of my way. And, James just happened to be the obstacle today. We worked on some things. We improved. And we had a good time in there today. I'll tell you that. I had a good time.
How does it, because you work with Remy Korchemny as well, taking yourself kind of out of the box of normal training, what does that kind of give you mentally, as well as physically, when you're working in a session like this? Because that's a rough surface to spar on, too.
Yeah, that's definitely the roughest surface I've ever been on. It gives you a lot mentally. Me personally, we do a heck of a lot leading up into a fight. And I know that adding this to the program and not decreasing anything else that we do is just gonna make me better. It's gonna make me stronger. It's gonna make me faster, quicker. Mentally, it's gonna make me stronger, quicker, being able to think quicker, being able to stay strong mentally when it does get tough in those fights. So we got it all out here in the Bay Area. A few more days out here, and we'll go back home and we'll grind it out like we always do. And December 7th, I'll be ready.
What do you think is the greatest challenge that you're going to face, the greatest obstacle with Devon? Is it the judges? Is it the promotion? Is it him?
You know what, man? I'm so positive mentally that I'm gonna say nothing. I watched this fight with Matisse. I saw Matisse knock him down. They only went 10 rounds, and Devon got the majority decision. I know I got to do more than knock him down. Simple as that. I know that I can't let judges stand in the way of me winning this championship. I know that I can't let not being prepared for this fight stand in the way of this championship. And I know that I won't be defeated mentally or physically. And so with all that built up in me, and the type of person I am, I know that there's nothing in my way December 7th. There won't be anything in my way. Judges, Devon himself, he's a great fighter. He's a champion. I don't take anything from him. I'm not overlooking him at all. I just know what I got, and I know that the whole world will see it on Showtime December 7th.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.